Hi, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I am a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group lcome, and more than 2 years ago we released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out all of our music videos on my YouTube channel.
Make it count every day you can start anew. I want you to scream, life is now. There's nothing you can get through. Just don't give up the dream, yeah.
And in the description of all these videos you will find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via email, on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can get one through Bandcamp as well. And today I'm going to review the new album from Biffy Clyro, A Celebration of Endings.
Music review. Music review.
One of my all-time favorite bands. I still remember how I discovered them in 2014 and I was just blown away by the album Opposites, which was, I think, 1 year old at that point. And they are sort of a dream band for me. Like, you know, they are big and successful enough to play the biggest festivals, to have the tours, and to, I think, make a very decent living out of making music. Yet they are not necessarily celebrities or superstars, meaning that they have a sort of a privacy. So I think that's a dream, really. And absolutely love this group. I made a review for their last year's release, Balance Not Symmetry, which was album/soundtrack. I wasn't very complimentary of that record. I still think it's the weakest they've released, but the new album, A Celebration of Endings, which is actually coming out today, so it's Friday the 14th of August at the time of shooting this review, and this is actually the follow-up to their previous album Ellipsis, which came out in 2016, so if we don't count in the soundtrack, this is actually their new album in 4 years. And I remember when Ellipsis came out, I was blown away by the album. I totally loved it. It became one of the soundtracks for the summer 2016, which was kind of an interesting summer, so to speak. So I've heard this album 7 times as of now. Let's dive right in. A spoiler alert, this album is fantastic. It opens up with the track North of No South, and the way it opens the record kind of brings the track Captain from Only Revolutions to mind. It starts in that ambient way, and then we hear this big heavy riff backed by orchestra on the Captain, so that's a bit of a difference because here we hear just sort of a guitar. And I also like the sound. It's like a very vintage, like 60s, 70s guitar that's tuning is dropped down to, I think, like C, which is not a very standard thing, and it just gives it very unique sound. Like most of the bands that would go for this tuning, they would just have heavy guitars and they would all sound kind of samey, but this really makes it unique. The track has a poppy edge, and I also like those gospel vocals.
Nothing below, up above us is only darkness. I poke in my eyes just to prove they're no longer worthless.
And the song ends with a heavy passage, kind of similar to that midsection of Black Chandelier. The second track, The Champ, starts with a piano backed by orchestra, and then it transforms into this art pop rock tune. It's pretty original and I really like it.
You got every little thing that you want. You took every little thing that you'd always needed more. You got every little thing that it takes. Child, don't theorize, don't criticize.
Weird Leisure, this is a classical, heavier Biffy Clyro, kind of in the style of like modern Magic Formula from the Opposites. Tiny Indoor Fireworks is an uplifting rock song that brings Howl from the previous album to mind. Some of the ocean scaled away, and I pray for Worst type of Best Possible is much more serious in tone, which creates a contrast to the previous tracks. And I like that 6/4 time signature in the chorus, or maybe it's 4/4 and 2/4. Maybe that makes more sense. But anyway, it's very interesting.
Where you are's not where you're from, but I'm always holding out for peacetime, holding out for grace. Everyone is leaving and they won't come back again.
Space is a poppy ballad with strings and a very gentle approach, something they tend to do at least one song per an album.
And then the silence fell. We bit our tongues with which we tell all of our dreams and the stories we sell, but we didn't know.
End of is a darker banger with cool riffing.
End of your testimony. I want everything you owe me. No time for ceremony now, 'cause it's the end of the...
Instant history. Okay, so let's stop here for a minute and let's appreciate how perfect this song is. I mean, this is literally a perfect song. I absolutely love it. Going from the sound, production, songwriting, the music video, even the cover of the single where you have this single paintbrush. It's so perfect. I remember when I heard the song for the first time, I was blown away. Still love the track. Yeah, this is how pop rock or heavier pop should sound in 2020. The Pink Limit is a punchy song with a bit of that old school Biffy vibe. Maybe it would fit the Infinite Land record.
It's not how you feel, it's how you do it. You always push it to the fucking brink, 'cause of it. You're totally Jesus and totally right. I'm totally listening to
Opak, I'm not sure if I pronounced it right because opak actually in Slovak means the opposite. And this is an acoustic ballad, kind of in the style of Machines from Puzzle, and I really like the string arrangements.
You'll be the best friend I never had. Yeah, this is how you chose to walk away. Yeah, this is how.
The final track, Cop Syrup, has the heaviest moments on the album with Simon screaming, again bringing those first couple of records to mind.
I'm scorched up your hearts and minds. Fuck everybody, woo. Fuck everybody, woo.
And after like 2.5 minutes of almost like punk rock, we get into this orchestral section that goes on for like 3 minutes. This is a long track, over 6 minutes long. And I don't think anybody would really expect the song to go this way. It's very cinematic, but I like it. And then the song ends in that heavy way, just like how it started, with a bit of a humor, just like Biffy Clyro. I think you can already tell that I really enjoyed this album, and I'm gonna keep coming back to it. Biffy Clyro are one of my all-time favorite groups, and even though I was a bit critical of the previous release, Balance Not Symmetry, I'm really very happy with this one. And they are, to a certain degree, I wouldn't like to say predictable, but they have their own formula that they use, a modern magic formula, pun intended. So if you are already familiar with their records, this will be already a relatively familiar trip for you, but in the best way possible. I mean, this is what I want from guys. They are experimental, they try new things, and what I really loved about all of their records, apart from experimentation, is the overall variety of the tracks, and that's what I got here. Love this record. This was definitely one of the most anticipated records for me this year, and even though certain anticipated records kind of disappointed me, this is not the case, and this will definitely end up on my top albums of this year list. If you like this video and if you like the videos I'm making, consider supporting me by purchasing my debut album Persons in Life. Because I include audio samples in my videos and in my reviews, I usually get a copyright claim, meaning that I won't be able to monetize this video and I won't be able to make any money out of it. It's a lot of work, and the only way how you can support me is by buying my debut album. Have you heard this album already? You can let me know in the comment section below whether you agreed or disagreed with me. If you are a Biffy Clyro fan, you can let me know how well do you think it compares to their previous records and maybe which one is your favorite one. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this video, don't forget to also like, share and subscribe. Check out my own original music, my live performances, my worst to best series and quite a lot of other reviews as well. Thanks a lot for watching.